In astrology, we hear a lot about the description of the signs, um, the transitions during the year, how those transitions might affect us. But I feel like we don't talk enough. It's not very often that we hear astrologists talking about how we can apply. Well, there are just not that many examples of how we can apply astrology in our day-to-day lives, in the experiences that we have in life. So for me, a lot of the times, I love so much astrology and human design, and for me, it's just very fascinating to hear, to listen to astrologists describing uh, the energies that are currently present, and how they might affect each sign. But it's just like, it's crazy, it's almost impossible to think that one same person, one astrology, is going to be able to speak to all the variations, all the possible variations that can exist in astrology, right? Like, let's say the person is a Virgo, and you know they might know a lot about astrology, and that can allow them to speak to many other signs and placements. But it's impossible that they're going to be able to talk directly to all of us. So that's why today I wanted to talk about um, how I use astrology, how I play around with astrology, and of course I'm going to share a little bit of my chart. I'm happy also to share below on the comments the basics of my chart. I'm a Pisces, Aries rising, Moon in Taurus, um, Venus in Pisces, North in Pisces. So my South North is in Virgo, and I'm a big percentage of water and a big percentage of um, earth. So I have some other placements in Capricorn, and I have a lot of things in the tenth house, which is the house of Capricorn, and a lot of placements in the 12th house, which is the house of Pisces. So I think those influences are the ones that make me a lot of earth and water. So the way I've been using astrology, and to be honest, being super honest with you guys, I did not learn this from anyone. It was just my intuition, picking up information from different places. I have to say that maybe one big influence in the way I approach astrology is the work I have done with um, shadow work, shadow integration. Um, yeah, I think my brain just connected these two uh, areas of knowledge, and since I learned how to integrate our shadows, that's how I started using astrology. So very much, I have spent a lot of time understanding the energies. How Pisces feels, how Pisces presents, all of them, and the planets as well, right? Like Mars and Venus. And I'm still learning. It's one of those fascinating things that I don't follow only one person in astrology. I follow many different ones, and all of them interpretate the energies in different ways. And I still, every time there's, like a big event coming up, the eclipse in um, the moon is gonna be in Pisces, the sun is gonna be in Virgo, and the eclipse is gonna be, if I'm not wrong, the eclipse is um, Venus in Pisces, right? Not that advanced in the transits and how they present, but I just want to talk about in real life how I use the energies of astrology to expand, to learn about myself, to work on myself. So, how I've been doing it is that once I learn the energies, how they feel, how they present, the nature of each energy, the nature of Pisces, the nature of Leo, the nature of Gemini, all of them, again, in the planets, in the houses. Um, Whenever there's an event in my life, whenever there's an interaction, situations that are activating for me, the situations that trigger me. I don't remember who said this, but there's this saying of let the triggers lead the way. I'm a big believer in that. Whenever there's something that is triggering for me, activating for me, that's when I sit down and I reflect what's happening here. What is it that is moving things inside of me? So I just want to say from my own experience, I went a little too far analyzing the situations using astrology, and that wasn't helpful for me. So the one I learned now, I'm sorry if there's a lot of noise, but it's cleaning time on the beach. Um, After going too far in analyzing everything through the lens of astrology, I learned that the best way is just to let the information come to you, to not obsess about finding all the details and all the connections. So it happens very naturally for me at the moment. Um, and again, by me learning the basics, the energies, whenever there's a triggering situation presenting in my life, I sit to reflect. And let's say I'm going to give you an example. Especially when I'm meeting new people. That's the most fun for me. I meet someone new, I interact with them for a little bit, and I start sensing their energy. So there's a lot of Gemini energy these days in my life. Gemini, and what's the other one? Capricorn. There's a lot of Capricorn in my days, these days in my life. So the first thing I do is just like to, I don't want to say to be alert, but yeah, I'm just aware. Okay, hello, Capricorn energy. And it's not that I'm in a place of expecting something to happen, but I recognize, okay, this is the energy that is presenting. And based on uh, the understanding I have about my chart, the challenges I have, the positive aspects, I'm like, okay, why it's Capricorn visiting? What is it about Capricorn? And depending also in the form is presenting. If it's a feminine energy, if it's from a friend, if it's from a loving relationship, or if it's maybe from an authority form. So, of course, when it's a negative, again, when there's a triggering situation presented, I know it's an opportunity for me to review what is my story in astrology with these energies. I'm trying to think about anything triggering from these days so I can share a little example with everyone. Um, yeah, before I came to, I just moved to a new city. I am in Miami at the moment, but I was in San Francisco. And before I left San Francisco, there was this out of nowhere experience that was very triggering. And I was like, okay, it's time to leave this place. But yeah, it was with Virgo. Virgo, and I would assume there was some Scorpio. And Scorpio and I have a long term relationship of uh, how can I express this? Yeah, it's one of those relationships where there's been betrayal, and I have my moon in Taurus, so it's a very loyal energy. and I demand that a lot, and Scorpio does not give me that at all. So yeah, it was one of those situations where I was, in my genuine energy, providing, serving, giving, and what I got back was very Scorpio. Like, uh, I'm running out of words today, but I think if you are a little into astrology, if you're watching this video, if you are here, it's because you understand what I'm talking about. So I realized that my South Node is in Virgo, and the whole dynamic was a lot of like very analytical interaction with this person where the person was just like putting everything into boxes and putting me actually into boxes, labeling my presence and my energy, and so this is the thing. If I didn't know astrology, I would have been like, what the if is going on here? Like what do they do with this? Like, and the thing is, like, I like to learn from life. I always take these experiences as a way of learning. So it's not like something happens in my life and I just keep walking, ignoring the potential of a lesson. So thanks to the understanding I have about astrology, I can use all these situations, all these experiences, um, to, as I have been saying, to keep learning, expanding, and growing. So yeah, I got my little moment of, let's say, with the Virgo aspect of that interaction. I tend to be in my Virgo. I was saying earlier on the video that I was using astrology to analyze a lot, kind of to control my life, and the things that were happening in my life. So for me, what I got from that interaction, part of what I got from that interaction was like, it's time to let go of this chapter of my life. It's time to go the identity and the patterns I've been repeating for many years. Um, let's say from this Virgo aspect of my personality. It's like, okay, I'm at peace with this part of me, and I'm ready to let go. That's just, I can keep talking about my experiences, but I just want to give you a little example of how I use astrology. Um, yeah, how we can really use astrology, because one part is just listening and listening and learning, but that wouldn't have a lot of it wouldn't make sense just to listen beautiful interpretations of astrology if we are not able to integrate that into our lives. So if you are at that place in your life where you're like, okay, I understand now a lot about astrology, what do I do now? How do I really apply astrology into my life? This is the way I've been doing it. And I hope you feel a little inspired after this video. I would love to hear if maybe you have already doing something similar. If you're trying this for the first time, I would love to hear how it goes for you. So always feel free to reach out, to comment below. For now, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Peace and love.